Here we go. Here's some nice simple Pilates exercises. I wanted to give a little bit more explanation to them this morning, but this fits in very nicely with all the other videos we've got online, particularly one we've done about how to engage your core. So the first exercise we're going to do is a Pilates classic, and that's a roll down. So if you position yourself on your mat, push your feet into the floor, rock around a little bit, and then we're going to turn our core on. So we're going to shrug our shoulders back and down, stand tall, even our hips off to front and rear, pulling your tummy about 30%, and just lift your pelvic floor about 30% too, and your bum cheeks might squeeze. Just control that breathing, nice and natural. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the point of our chin down into this little hollow at the top of our collarbone. Very easy, but we keep the body upright, the chin comes down, and you'll feel the stretch kick into your neck. Just hold that stretch. Very gently, we're going to lift back up. We're going to lift the top of our head, so it's the top of your head at the back, up towards the ceiling, so the neck gets a little bit of a stretch and your tummy will work harder. And we're going to go again with this tilt. So this is a chin tilt. Easy back up. We're going to do 2 or 3 more. So I'm going to take a breath in here. On the breath out, we're going to empty the chest cavity, take the head forward. The difficult part here is you're going to breathe in. Then we're going to take the head back. Now for some people this feels like a really simple exercise. For others they might have problems with neck. You might get little clicking or popping feelings. Just take it easy. And all the time just focus on good body position. Your tummy held in. Standing tall at the top to stretch out the spine. And forward we go. Now next time your head's forwards, we're going to roll a little bit further down, and we're going to keep our hands fairly close to the body. Only if you need to should you put your hands upon your knees. Ideally, we want our hands free. We're going to tuck our chin in, easy for me to say. Down it goes nice and easy, just to where you can start to feel the stretch. Then as we stand, we're keeping our tummy held in, and we're concentrating on really slow controlled movements. As we come back to the top, take those shoulders back, lift that head nice and tall, stretch the spine out, and forward we go again. So head goes forwards, shoulders will roll slightly, unstack your vertebrae one at a time. So we're rolling down a little bit of a C shape. Remember, you control the speed of the descent. As you lower, try and keep your hands the same height from the ground as each other. Now really important you don't overdo this stretch, and really important that as you lift back up, your tummy's in and you're lifting back up under control. Some people might get a little bit dizzy when you do this. If you do, just be really cautious and just make sure your breathing's good at the top before you roll down again. This time as we take the body forwards, we're just coming to stretch point. We're actually going to take ourselves down to the mat. So we're going to bend the knees a bit like a swimmer would. We're going to walk forwards and lower ourselves gently to the mat. And we're going to bring ourselves into this all fours position. From here, we're still going to work the core, but we're going for back mobilization in this little sequence of exercises. I want you to just think that your back is nice and flat. You can tuck your toes under or put them on the outside, doesn't matter which, but we're not going to put pressure through them. In this position, we want to stretch our heads forwards, but it's the top of the head which stretches towards the wall in front of you. We're stretching that forwards, and as we're doing this, we're going to breathe in. On the breath out, we're going to make sure your tummy button's pulled in. Our bum cheeks will tighten slightly. Mouth's not working this morning. And from here now, we're going to arch our back up, but we're going to imagine that we're tucking our tailbone under as our back arches up, and we're going to look underneath towards our knees with a very gentle push through shoulders. Stretching off the shoulders, stretching off the back. Then we're going to roll back down, and this time we're going to tip our tailbone up at the back, very gently and under control, and as we do, we're going to look ahead of ourselves at the wall. So this is a cat stretch. Nice and easy now. Back starts to come back up, and there comes a point when your head and your back are nice and level. Just do a check there, just make sure your tummy's in. And now as we look underneath, we're going to look underneath, arch the back up. So what's this doing? This is mobilizing your back. It's also making your core work very strongly, because if you think about this, it's your tummy muscles and your back muscles which are creating this arch up and arch down move. We're going to do one more of these underneath. We're going to look underneath. Then we're going to come back to a middle position. Remember, top of head, I'm just going to lift a hand. I don't want you to lift a hand, but top of head here, rather than your forehead, pushes towards the wall opposite. We're going to hold that middle position, and from here, we're going to come back, take your hands in down by the side, fold your hips forwards, and kneel up tall. Now this stretches out the front of the hip from here to here, and it'll also do a little bit for your back, but don't arch back. Everything's got to be done under control, and we're going to squeeze our shoulders back, fingertips go down the seams of our pants, and we push down with our hands and we stretch up with our head so that the tummy's working really, really hard here. This is a kneeling body brace, obviously because you're kneeling and your body's braced nice and firm. From here, take a breath in. On the breath out, we're going to rock back slightly. This is a part rocker. I'm just going to lift a hand to show. Tummy's working really hard here, back's working really hard there, legs are working in support too. But we're going to take it back and a little bit forwards, just a touch. Hold that tummy in, don't tip too far forwards, you'll feel your legs work, back we come. If at any point you start to tire with this, just take some of the tension out. I'll demonstrate. Bum goes back. You can just rest, you can shimmy and shake if you want to, and forward we go. Very gentle. So up to now, we've done a roll down, we've looked at body brace, we've done cat stretching. Just to complete this little sequence now, we're going to come up to the top, we're going to take our bum back and fold ourselves down to the mat. Just take yourself down nice and gently here. You can just push your feet back. Hands are going to come down by the side and you can rest your head down. Or if you've got a towel, you can put a towel under your head just to support it. Now from here, take a breath in. On the breath out, we're going to pull our shoulders back so they lift off the mat. We're going to run our hands just to say down the sides towards the back of the thigh, and we're going to push our fingertips down as we lift up. We're not going to put any pressure through our feet, though you'll want to. Then gently we're going to roll back down. Let the shoulders fold forward into the mat. Take a breath in. On the breath out, we're going to push our hands back, and again this looks at spine mobility and strength. And definitely don't overdo this. It's all about the muscles working. So remember those tummies held in. As a final point on this one, if you've got your head turned to one side, you can move it across and lower it so you'll touch down with one cheek. Then the next time you'll touch down with another cheek. On the mat now, you can put your hands wherever you're comfortable. So if you want to put them up here, you can just rock from side to side. We're going to put our hands underneath and just push ourselves back just into child's pose stretch. So hands go forwards, really push forward with your fingertips, just lower your head. Elbows are going to go down. We're going to come forwards and we're just going to do a bum shake. And I want you to move your tailbone around. Imagine a dog wagging its tail. That's the kind of motion you want at your back end. From here, we're going to come up into the cat stretch position again, and we're just going to do a couple nice and light. From here, toes tuck under, hands come back. We're just going to sit forward. We're going to stretch the hips forward and just take our shoulders back. Really stretch out the body. And again, you can push your hands back. Don't worry if you can't get your arms too far back. You might only go to there because we're all built differently. Hand comes in alongside you. Just rock back on the feet. Remember, if you've been on the floor, particularly if you've added other things in and you've been on the floor, just pause here for a moment just to make sure your breathing's good. Just before we reverse that stand. So we're coming back up into that start position. And at the top, we're going to take our shoulders back and down. Just push your fingertips down. And then just relax. We're going to wrap the body around because of what we've done. We just want to make sure that the spine's moving nice and easily. And just do a quick check, just to make sure whether you've got any sticking points in your body. Just shake off anything you need to shake off. Then it's time to stand tall again. Remember, outside of hips, roughly in line with outside of feet. Stand tall. Lift the back of your head up. Pull that tummy in. Feel that trunk engage, the muscles there, but stay relaxed in your mind. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in. Just keep the breathing going and flowing nice and easy. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. This time at the top, breath in. Breath out as hands come around the side. Feel really good about yourself, feel nice and tall now. We're going to take a big breath in. As we bend at the knees, we just scoop up the side of the rib cage. We tuck our elbows into the back. Breath out as we push our hands forwards. Push all the negatives out. Dump life's negatives on the floor. Breath in, breath out. On the way down, have a little bit of jazz hands. At the bottom, just have a shimmy and a shake. Check all moving parts. Give yourselves a clap. Thank you, people.